Chrisley Knows best star Chase Chrisley just showed off his new baby to Nanny Faye. He's so excited about this, and he's one step closer to sharing his baby with the world. This is a huge life-changing thing for Chase as he continues his life of sobriety. What is Chrisley talking about? Keep reading to get all the details. Chrisley Knows best star Chase Chrisley has a lot to be proud of. His parents, Todd and Julie Chrisley, are home after spending time in prison. President Trump pardoned the couple, and the charges against them were completely dropped. While they were gone, Chrisley went through a lot of low points. He turned to drinking for both the good and bad times and admits that. At one point, he was even arrested for allegedly getting into a fight at a bar. Now, Chase is sober and loving his life of sobriety. Now, with a clearer mind and healthier body, he has a new baby, and he's showing it off to Nanny Faye. Chrisley and his partners went to Instagram to share the exciting news with all their followers. The post revealed several photos of himself, looking incredibly happy and smiling big. In one of the photos, he is FaceTiming Nanny Faye. The post reads, "Chase Chrisley has spoken about his baby before, and now it's all becoming a reality." In a previous social media post, Chase said that getting sober was the best decision he's ever made. Not relying on alcohol has given him clarity and peace that he didn't have before. Now that he's sober, he is able to fulfill his purpose and focus on living up to his potential. However, he understands that people still want to socialize and have a great time with friends. So, he created an alcohol-free seltzer that allows everyone to still have a good time and stay healthy while doing it. The support he has received from family and friends has pushed him through the hard times, and now he's excited to celebrate this success with them. No doubt, Nanny Faye is very proud of her grandson and excited to celebrate his big launch and success that is sure to come. What do you think about Chase Chrisley's new baby? Are you going to go out and try his new product? Stay tuned for more updates on all your Chrisley Knows best favorites. In a scene that could have easily been lifted straight out of a heartwarming reality TV finale, Chase Chrisley, the ever-charismatic and occasionally mischievous son of Todd and Julie Chrisley, introduced a brand new addition to the Chrisley family, his baby. But this wasn't a typical Chrisley Knows best plot twist. This was real life, and the moment wasn't complete until one very special lady laid eyes on the little one, the one and only Nanny Faye. Dressed in a bright blue floral button-up, white pants, and her signature spunk, Nanny Faye was waiting in her Nashville kitchen with a mimosa in hand and a million questions on her lips. She had heard whispers for weeks that Chase had been preparing for something major, something life-changing, but she never could have guessed it was a baby. Well, if it isn't Mr. I can't keep a girlfriend longer than a goldfish, she teased, eyeing her grandson as he walked in through the front door, holding a car seat like it was made of gold. "Easy now, Nanny," Chase chuckled, his trademark grin stretching ear to ear. "Let me introduce you to someone pretty special." Nanny Faye lowered her drink and leaned closer. "Unless it's a box of money or a plate of hot wings, it better be worth it." Chase kneeled, carefully unlatched the carrier, and scooped up a wriggling bundle wrapped in a powder blue swaddle. "Nanny," he said, "meet Everett James Chrisley, my son." For the first time in a long time, Nanny Faye was speechless. Her eyes darted between the baby and Chase, then back again. "You're not joking," she whispered. Chase shook his head, his eyes suddenly misty. "He's mine. He's really mine." The news had been a well-kept secret, known only to Savannah and a few close friends. Chase had been dating quietly for the past year, intentionally stepping away from the limelight to focus on his relationship with someone outside of the reality TV circus. They had welcomed Everett a few weeks early, and after a quiet hospital stay and some time to adjust, Chase decided it was finally time to introduce his son to the family matriarch. "Oh my lord," Nanny Faye murmured as she reached for the baby, her hands surprisingly steady. "He's got your big ol' ears." "Thanks for that," Chase muttered. "And his mama? Where's she at? Did you leave her at a rest stop or something?" "She's good. She's resting. We wanted to introduce him to you first. You got your priorities straight for once, Nanny said with a wink. Now give me that baby. The moment Everett was placed in her arms, the entire room seemed to quiet. The baby let out like he knew he was being studied. He looks like your daddy, Nanny said quietly, but thank goodness he got your mama's patience. Chase laughed. He's been a good baby. Sleeps all night, barely cries. Oh, don't jinx it now, she said sharply, rocking Everett with a practiced ease. You say that out loud, and he'll be up screaming like a banshee come midnight. Chase sat at the kitchen island, watching his grandmother cradle his son, and felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Peace. As the afternoon unfolded, the Chrisley house became the stage for a classic multi-generational comedy drama. Nanny Faye wasted no time launching into her baby-rearing advice, much of which sounded more like folklore than science. You gotta rub a little bourbon on his gums when he's teething, she advised with complete confidence. Chase nearly spit out his sweet tea. Nanny, I'm pretty sure that's not recommended anymore. Well, it worked on your daddy, and he turned out just. She stopped herself. Well, you know. Chase grinned. Maybe I'll just stick to the pediatrician's plan. Suit yourself, she said. But when that baby's screaming at 3 a.m., don't come calling me. Then came the nursery tour, or rather, the mobile nursery Chase had built into his guest room at the house. Nanny inspected every corner like a seasoned inspector general. Too many stuffed animals. One of these is gonna fall in the crib, and you'll have a headline on your hands, she muttered. Yes, ma'am, Chase said dutifully. You got one of them wipe warmers? I do well, aren't you fancy, she said with a proud smirk. When Savannah popped in later that evening, she found Nanny Faye sitting in a recliner, Everett nestled on her chest, and Chase fast asleep on the couch, looking like he hadn't slept in a week. Finally wore him out? Savannah asked quietly. Nanny nodded. He's a daddy now, and daddies don't sleep. Savannah tipped it over to peek at Everett. He looks just like Chastity as a baby, except cuter. He's gonna change all of us, Nanny said, eyes twinkling. I can feel it. Later that night, after Everett was put to bed and Chase had rejoined the world of the living, he and Nanny sat on the porch swing, wrapped in quilts, the stars winking above. Did you ever think you'd see the day? Chase asked, sipping a beer. Honestly, Nanny said. I wasn't sure you'd ever grow up. Chase laughed. That makes two of us. But look at you now. You're a daddy. A good one, I can tell already. You got that look in your eye. What look is that? The scared out of your mind look. Chase nodded slowly. It's a lot, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. You won't be perfect, he said. None of us are. But if you love that boy and raise him with some sense, he's gonna be just fine. Was a long silence between them, the good kind, filled with the sound of crickets and the creak of the porch swing. Think Dad would be proud? Chase finally asked. Nanny turned to him with a warm, fierce smile. Oh, honey, he'd be over the moon. Probably already trying to teach him golf from heaven. Chase laughed. He would, wouldn't he? He'd probably try to get him a modeling contract, too. The two burst into easy laughter, the kind that feels like medicine. By the end of the week, the rest of the Chrisley clan had filtered in. There were awkward diaper changes, courtesy of Grayson, a nursery rhyme sing-along led by Savannah, and a dozen attempts to get a perfect family photo, all of which ended in chaos. But through it all, one thing was clear. Everett James Chrisley had brought a fresh sense of hope to a family that had weathered more than its fair share of storms. In a family where headlines had often overshadowed real life, this moment, this quiet, unfiltered introduction of new life, was something rare. It wasn't planned or publicized. It was private and raw and beautiful.